questions on multi-threading not coming. But you go to bigger companies, this concept will be coming because this is available at the technology level. So far, which are available at the language level, used at technology level, but this multi-threading purely available at the technology level, there they used this multi-threading concept. Let me start what I'm going to discuss here. Index, I'm going to explain carefully, try to follow. So first, I'm going to talk about purpose of multi-threading. Purpose of multi-threading. Purpose of multi-threading. Next, I'm going to talk about purpose of multi-threading. Next, I'm going to talk about types of applications. Types of applications. There I will talk first one, process-based applications. Process-based applications. And next, second one is called what you know, thread-based applications. Thread-based applications. Followed by, there I will give you some examples for you. I will talk about there, I will give you development of thread-based applications. Thread-based applications I will discuss. There is a part of that I am discussing about definition of thread. Definition and purpose of thread. Come in. Definition and purpose of thread. I'm going to talk about it. Followed by difference between process-based and then thread-based examples. Next, I'm going to talk about, I'm discussing, this is about one variety of example, concept-based this is. Next, I'm going to talk about module name required for developing thread-based applications. Thread-based applications. Thread-based applications. Thread-based applications. So what is the module name, you know, students? The name of the module is called what? Threading. Threading module. What is the module for pickling? Pickle. What is the module for CSV file? CSV module. What is the module for JSON file? JSON module. Like that. We are having thread-based application. Threading. So next, functions, global variables. I'm talking about global variables, comma, function names, and what next? Class names in threading module. In threading module. So class name and global variables, function names and class names in which module? Threading module. Next, I'm going to talk about, we are going to discuss all these things. There I will talk about some classes are available, some functions are available, followed by programming examples. And there I will talk about creating multiple threads, creating single, and next is called what? Multiple threads, creating multiple threads. So I'm going to talk about creating single and multiple threads. We are talking about programming examples. I'm talking about it. Next, I'm going to talk about, there's a module name required for developing thread-based applications, global variables, function names, class names in threading module, creating single thread and multiple threads example. Next, I'm going to talk about today I will discuss this concept. Next, I will enter into this concept. Next, third level, deadlock occurrence. That is deadlock occurrence. If you are a computer science student, BTech CSC or MCA, CSC background or MCA, might be you studied one subject called OS. There is a concept called what you know, synchronization. Synchronization. Any MCA students are here? One student is laughing. Yeah. Girls, I don't know. Boys, I know. Studied? OS. In that synchronization, girls, I don't ask questions because they will feel, because these days girls are feeling. That's why no questions to girls. Boys, synchronization studied up. What is synchronization? Synchronization only. So this I will explain programmatically in the class. Very, very important. I'll explain. This is synchronization. Thread synchronization. SYNCHRO synchronization. Synchronization. Thread synchronization. Or instead of that, I will apply deadlock occurrence. Deadlock occurrence. Thread synchronization technique. Thread synchronization technique to eliminate to eliminate to eliminate deadlock occurrence. There I am talking about lock class, implementation of lock class, implementation of lock class. I will explain implementation of lock class. There I will go for programming examples. Programming examples I am going to discuss. This is about the index. So this I will explain. This is the first day I'm going to talk. Next day I will speak. That next day I will go for this. So this multi-threading will take 3 days. This is used at the technology level, important concept. So let us start understanding about why this multi-threading concept is required. Let us enter into the topic. Online students, I hope my index is clear. Let me save this now. Go to the place here 6 p.m. There I will go for what threads I will create. Threads. There I will go for nodes. Inside of that, I'm going to talk about what? Index of threads. Index of threads, I will go for it. Index of threads. Let me go for the starting point. Why we go for multi-threading? First of all, what is the multi-threading? Let me give a lot of explanation on that area. Let me go to one paint. Let me go to one paint. Take care. Now I'm going to take students. I'm talking about why threading is required. Take an example. This is about concept called what? A box I wrote it. Even you are not an MCA student, with my explanation, you can understand what is the threading importance. In my machine, I am having Windows. I am talking about the concept called importance of multitasking. Importance of multitasking in operating system level. This is the concept in OS level. Whether you take Unix or you take Windows 98 onwards up to now, all Windows OSs, you take it as Windows OS 11. Now I'm talking multitasking. You go on listening it, you go on observe this explanation. You will be getting one beautiful awareness, you will get it, so that I can enter into the subject. I am going on creating some awareness for you. After getting some awareness, I will talk about the entry into the subject. Slowly, I will bring into the subject. So let us assume that this is my OS I am taking. This is the one I am taking my OS. Here I am taking Windows OS I am going to take. Windows OS is my operating system here in the present PC. This is my present PC. There I am talking about. I opened it Python software. Python command prompt I opened it. Python CMD command prompt I opened it. Next I opened Python ideally opened. Python ideally opened. Next I opened it PyCharm opened. PyCharm opened. Next I opened it Jupyter notebook, I opened it. Jupyter, I opened it. Jupyter, I opened it. Next, I opened it Oracle here. Oracle, I opened it. Next, I opened it MySQL, I opened it. MySQL, opened it. Next, here I opened it one Paint. Paint. It's also one app, I opened it. Next, I opened it one media player, I opened it. Media player. Media player, I opened it. Next, I'm opening one Edit Plus. Also, I opened one Edit Plus for typing my notes. These are my number of applications opened. Are they not called a different type of environments? They are called a different type of environments. And our OS is perfectly providing services for what? Python command prompt, it is providing the service. Python command prompt, it is providing the service. It is providing the service for ideally and to all sorts of applications. What is this Windows OS is providing? What is this Windows OS is providing? Providing the services for all sorts of apps. All sorts of apps it is providing. How this is providing the services? Is it providing one by one or all at once? Huh? Huh? One by one. Where are you, my dear student? I think you born in 1947 or what? Is it providing the services all at once or one by one? Where are you, my dear student? Are you touching the laptop first of all? So these are providing parallelly the services are provided to all my apps. The Windows OS is providing services to all my apps at the same time. When my Python program is communicating with the Oracle database, if it is providing one by one, how can you understand that it is providing one by one? Is it providing all at once or not? So here, when you are not getting that theme, you are out of maybe practical ground. So the Windows OS is providing concurrent facility, providing the services. The moment when you said, no, I'm only getting confused. You are totally out of order. How can I make you to understand? మీకు ఇంకొక లేమైన ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పాలి. I'll go. ఇది పక్కన పెడదాం క్వశ్చన్. Keep it aside for 1 minute. One layman example I'll tell you. Look at that. And you don't feel it. And feel అయినా పర్లేదు, no problem. Even if feel also, no problem. You are a layman, 100% layman. So here you are sitting in my class. What are you doing? At least you tell me. By sitting in my class, what are you doing? Huh? Huh? What is that? Okay, very good. What are you doing is my question for you. Actually, I want to go here only, but I thought that you are an intelligent student. That's why I went to directly that question. I don't know that you are a layman. Now I'm coming to your example. It's best example for you. When you are sitting in my class, what are you doing? First one. Number one, what are you doing? Huh? Why suspense? What are you doing? Listening. Only seeing is not enough. What are you doing? Listening. Say once. Listening. Listening. Number one. Next, what are you doing? Hmm? Seeing. Seeing అంటారదని ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదు. వాచింగ్. ఆర్ యు వాచ్మెన్? అబ్జర్వింగ్. సో యు ఆర్ అబ్జర్వింగ్. వాచింగ్ కాదు. At least English also learn something. So here I am going to say what? Observing. You are observing. Next, what are you doing? Next, what are you doing? Listening and observing is one by one, all at once. Huh? Right. Thanks to God. All at once. Now you understood. Listening, observing. One by one, all at once. Thanks to God. I'm safe. So, next, what are you doing next? Next. వద్దు బాబులు, మీకు ఏం రాదు అసలు. అండర్స్టాండింగ్. ఆర్ యు అండర్స్టాండింగ్? ఆర్ యు అండర్స్టాండింగ్? అండర్స్టాండింగ్, రైట్? రైట్. Observing, listening, understanding. Is these three things going on at the same time or one after the other? Today listening, day after tomorrow understanding, after 10 days observing, like that? No, all at once, one by one. Okay. Next, you are seeing that. What is the next one you are doing? Are you responding or not? Responding. After listening, you are responding and observing and understanding and responding. So, are you doing all at once or one by one? Responding today, listening, tomorrow, responding, or listening and responding parallelly. So, is these things are going on at the same time or one by one? Same time. Any operation doing same time, we call it as a concurrent execution, we can call. Spell out. Concurrent execution. Concurrent execution. It is also known as what parallel execution we can call. Spell out. Parallel execution we can call. Parallel execution. It is also known as what simultaneous execution. Simultaneous execution. This is one variety of execution. Second variety of execution is there sequential execution. Sequential execution we can call. What is the sequential execution? One after the another. As on today, all the technologies in the present world are doing what? Concurrent execution it is doing. Gmail, you take it, students. Gmail. Gmail is only one app or not? And how many people are interacted by the Gmail at one point of time? Millions of people are communicating with that or not? How many apps are there? One application is communicated by how many number of people? Lakhs and crores of people are communicating or not? Are you following? This is known as what type of communication? All at once or one by one? Suppose if I am making a request at 1 lakh time, is it coming after 1 lakh my response will come or parallelly responses are coming? Parallelly the responses are coming. So here are two things. How many types of execution mechanisms? Two. One is sequential execution, concurrent execution. What do you mean by sequential execution? Executing the operations one by one is called sequential execution. Executing the operations all at once is called what? Concurrent execution. Let me continue. You are listening the class as well as observing, as well as understanding, as well as responding. All at once or one by one? Come on. Okay. Next, anything you are doing all at once? Anything you are doing all at once? Come on. Hmm? Writing up. Writing up. Are you writing? So writing, you only few people are writing, few people are not writing. That is not the case. Now, are you taking breath or not? Taking breath or not? Don't know. Just stop taking breath for 10 minutes. What will happen? Problem will come or not? So, taking breath parallelly, observing, responding, and understanding, and taking breath also. These things, etc. I'll go on doing what? Observing, understanding, responding, and you are giving smile also in middle of it. These are all going on what? Parallelly going on. Right? This is called what today? This is known as what today? Python program this is. What program it is? So what is my Python program is doing? Today I am planning to write a Python program which will perform listening, observing, understanding, responding, and taking breath. These many operations want to do parallelly. This is known as what? Aim of what programming? Multi-threading programming. The purpose of multi-threading program is to provide which type of execution? Concurrent execution, or also called as what? Parallel execution. This is known as what? Concurrent execution or what? Parallel execution we can call. Are you able to understand, students? So what is the why I will go for multi-threading? Go to Gmail. Just Gmail you understand once. People are sending the message, sending the mails, receiving the mails, downloading documents. So many things are doing or not. These are all going to be done one by one, all at once. So Gmail app is providing which type of execution? Concurrent execution. At the time of building Gmail application, which type of concept used? Multi-threading. Twitter, you take it. Facebook, you take it. Any social media, you take it. All the social media is running parallelly or one after the other? Parallelly. You are listening a song. I am also listening. Somebody also will listen. Same song will be played in multiple devices or not? What is the concept behind of playing one application on multiple devices? Multi-threading, parallel application development. Parallel application development possible by whom? Multi-threading. What is the purpose of hoops? You said that you are perfect in hoops. Object stores unlimited amount of data. Total data will be transmitted all at once with by taking less communication time, and you will be getting the security, and you will be getting what? High-end reusability will be getting, and you are going to get less memory management because the data is available around the objects. That are 5 advantages I said. Advantages of hoops. Everything is an object in Python, I said. Did you remember? Yes, everything remembered, but coming from mind through interview point of view, difficult. Do one thing, students. Carry my total notes there. If an interview is asking now, give the note. You read these notes first. First, give that. You read my notes. You read. Then later I will tell. Then at least interviewer will say, okay, he is good student. Whatever question I am asking, that is there in the notes. If I give an opportunity to this candidate, at least he will read that notes and he will do my task. He will get the confidence on you. You tell them, tomorrow I'll come to interview. Today, give me 1 day time. Tomorrow I'll go. Your answer is there in this notebook. Your question is there. Tomorrow I will answer. Definitely, at least safety, na? Rather than become foul from the game, will give you a chance. Okay, tomorrow you come. Okay, na? You at least you do that. Okay, students. చదువుకోండి మీరు. So, huh? Who is this? Come on to this. Brilliant idea. Na? Is it a brilliant idea? My dear student Mayank. Now come to the point of it. Some ideas I will give student. You don't apply in the interview point of view. So, coming to the next. As a teacher, what I am doing, tell me. As a teacher, what I am doing. Because if I directly go to the topic, you are not getting me. As a teacher, what I am doing, tell me. I am teaching. I am writing. Right or not? Teaching as well as writing. I am observing who is speaking and who is not speaking and who is just smiling without speaking. And next is called taking breath and just is moving my hands. These are all going to be done what? All at once or one by one? All at once. All at once is called which operation? Concurrent operation. Who will provide concurrent execution? Which programming model will provide? Multi-threading. Which programming model will provide robustness to my Python program? Exception handling. Good. Exception handling. OOPS will provide 5 advantages. Modules will provide what? Packages will provide what? Pickle will provide what? JSON will provide what? Every topic explained. Explained now? So, this part of performing multiple operations by single Python program is the beauty of what? Multi-threading. So far, what we did? One function only we executed, one operation only we executed. But today, what are we doing? All at once we are planning to execute. Tell me, one by one performing is taking more time, all at once taking more time, one by one taking more time. All at once will take less time. So which one is preferring in software field now? Good. All at once will take what time? Good. Interview will ask tomorrow. Why should I go for multi-threading? Multi-threading provide concurrent execution. Means all at once performing will take less amount of time. Sequential execution takes more time because it is executing one after the other. You will say, okay, you are very good. Show me the program once. What you will say? Program, I don't know. This is my concept. You believe it. I don't know program. You don't ask me that. Concept, you tell me, I will tell anything. I will tell son also prepared by me only, I will tell. So, you show me the program. Will you show the program? Yes or no? Because you have a confidence, or will show that program I will show. Now I will show you that example. Wait. First of all, did you understand? Multi-threading is a concept of Java, concept of Python, concept of C#.NET also. Mayank is our student. Definitely that faculty of C#.NET, nobody will touch multi-threading. Even in this institute also, multi-threading, no faculty will explain, except in our batches. Even Pandas Matplotlib also, 5 days, 5 days, 5 days, over. Why we say exclusive training on it? Something want to show you. That is our intention. So, come on. So, see, Mayank, I asked directly Mayank. Mayank only I said, because you know C#.NET. I know total teaching topics, what they teach. They don't teach. But here, I'm teaching you multi-threading. You will feel very a good explanation here. Let it be, students. Now coming to the point back. Now, one thing I want to prepare for my entire 20 minutes, 15 minutes of explanation. What is the use of multi-threading? The use of multi-threading is to provide concurrent execution. Concurrent execution meaning is what? Simultaneous execution, parallel execution, all at once execution is called concurrent execution. Prior to the concurrent execution, there is a sequential execution, which takes what time? More time. So concurrent execution will take what? Less time. Okay, now? But concurrent execution also danger. Concurrent execution also danger. How, sir? Look at, look at. There is one person. There is one person going on the bike. This is a bike. Feel that it is a bike. Going on the bike. Sir, what bike this is? You don't know. It's a new company bike. This is going on the bike. So while going on the bike, what he will do? What he will do? You will see the road, right? That is number one. Okay, good. You will change the gears. Number two. You will raise the accelerator, right? Number three. You will take the breath. Four. Up to that safe journey. While going something seen left side nice. You will watch or not? Watch or not? Compulsory. Right, watch. Fifth, okay. No traffic, no problem. Something also missing, right also. Watching that also. Something missing backside also. That time problem will be occurring. So too much concurrent execution leads to what? Deadlocks. Leads to what? Some wrong results will come. To avoid that wrong results, what will happen? There is a concept of synchronization concept is available. I will explain through what? Through the concept of what? Railway reservation. And one person took a lot of loans from the bank and he went to London. And then from London, he gave the multiple checks to multiple people. One check passing, rest of the checks bounce, check bounce. That example I will explain in the class. Did you understand? Too much multi-threading drawbacks. What is the drawback? Deadlock. To avoid the deadlock, what will happen? Synchronization concept I'll apply. Up to what extent to use multi-threading, that is excellent. Too many threads you will apply now, you will get the deadlock. I will explain two models in the class. Two models are there. Two models perfectly I will explain. First of all, did you understand threading importance? Why threading? Multi-threading is for what? Concurrent execution. Non-multi-threading is what? Sequential execution. Now see, what is a thread? I want to define. Multi-thread means what? If a program contains multiple threads, that program is called multi-threading. General example, like an examination kind of answer. Now look at, I'm giving how easily I'm going to give you the definition. You see, a Python program or a layman is listening the class. In the brain of the layman, a flow is created to listen the class. In a brain, a separate flow is created to listen the class. In a brain, a separate flow is created to observe. A brain is created carefully for listening. Eyes are created so carefully for observing. And then next is called what? Understanding also. What you observing, you are understanding whether it is practically working or not. At the same time, you are taking breath also. Some internal organs also working. Is it not called multiple parts in the body or doing different operations or not? Similarly, the way which I wrote different lines are called what? Flow of control. Spell out. Flow of control. Flow of control is called what? Thread. Flow of control is called what here? Thread we can call. Flow of control is called thread. Spell out once. What do you mean by flow of control? It is one English word. The way which I am concentrating on listening is called one flow of control. The way which I am concentrating on observing something is called flow of control. During my observation, I will understand what I am observing. That is called one more flow of control. Are you following? I am going to my home. I am observing the road or not. I am thinking in my mind some sort of way is there in my brain or not. While I am going, I am speaking in the phone also. Is it not another flow of control or not? I am not only observing the way, I am also talking in the phone. That is nothing but what? Multiple flows are there in my brain. Tell me what is the thread? Very good. A flow of control is called thread. Sir, why should I create a thread? Very easy. Sir, listen now. Listening is an operation. Operations are performed in Python by using functions. Functions now? And observing is called a function. Understanding is a function. Responding is a function. Taking breath is a function. How many functions are there with me? 5 functions are there. When 5 functions are there, normally what will happen? Functions are executing one after the other or not. Even in our Python also so far, our functions are executing one after the other only. That is known as what type of execution? Sequential execution. Are you following? But today, what I am talking, students, for performing this listening operation, for performing this listening operation, for observing, I am creating separate flow of control. A separate flow of control is called what? Thread. A separate flow of control I will create for observation. T2. A separate understanding I will create a T3. A separate responding is called a T4. A separate is called what? T5. What is T1, T2, T3, T4, T5 are called threads. These are all called threads. All the threads are meant for, remember my sentence, meant for executing the functions. Executing the functions. Now I can say this word I want to tell you actually in the functions time only. Generally, who will execute the Python program? PVM. Correct now? Everybody knows that, right? PVM. Actually, PVM will start the initiation to execute the program. When the PVM starts the execution, internally it initiates one thread. It initiates one thread. It initiates one thread. Are you following me? That thread will execute the functions. Best example. Forget about that. You are writing the notes, right? With what you are writing? Come on. Pen. Actually, you are not writing with pen. Is it really with pen now? See once. See once. Penna, refill. Inside the pen, what is there? When the class starts, what you will open? Pen. When pen opens, what is initiated? Nib. That nib is called what? Thread inside the PVM. So when PVM starts execution, PVM initiates what? One thread, whose name is called main thread. What is the thread? That main thread only will execute all the statements in the program. Did you understand this point? By default, how many threads are there in Python program? Only one thread is available, whose name is called main thread. Spell out main thread. Are you following me? What I'm talking? So this is going to contain what? Thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, thread 4, thread 5. All these threads are known as what you know? These are the threads you created by yourself to execute multiple operations. These threads are known as what you know, subthreads we can call. Spell out, ma. Subthreads. Spell out. Subthreads. These are monitored by one of the thread called what thread? Main thread. Main thread. So main thread is monitoring what threads? Subthreads. So by default, how many threads are there? Only one thread. What is its name? I'll print and I'll show you. I'll show you that. And the concept I'm covering first. Whenever Python program executes, who will come first? Main thread. Main thread initiates what? Oh, no, no. When Python program starts, who will come? PVM. PVM initiates what? Main thread. That only will execute all my functions in the program. I will show you. But executing all functions by main thread is one by one, all at once. One by one. It takes what time? More time. I'll measure the time and I'll show you today. So definitely one thread will take what time? More time. In another way, suppose you are only one person in your home, for example. You have 10 jobs, 10 works to do it in the home. There is one function tomorrow in your home. 10 works are there to complete. You are only doing that works one by one. It takes a lot of time or not? You are calling 10 friends of yours. 10 friends means what? 10 subthreads you are calling. 10 subthreads you are calling. Each friend is doing one work to you. Is it not called parallelly they are completing within short span of time or not? One person doing 10 works, 10 people doing 10 works. Which is a better and which is a fastest execution? 10 people doing 10 works. 10 threads doing 10 jobs. 10 threads executing 10 operations. That is better. Here are two things. What is the purpose of multi-threading? What is the definition of thread? What is the purpose of creating a thread? These three things, if you know now, subject is easy. What is the purpose of multi-threading? To provide concurrent execution. What is the concurrent execution? Simultaneous or parallel execution is called what? Concurrent execution. If a Python program contains multiple threads, then it is called which program? Multi-threaded program. Understand, students? What is the definition of thread? A flow of control is called what? When I'm talking to you. Am I creating one flow or not? When I'm talking in the phone, for listening one flow, for talking one flow. Tongue is talking, ears are listening. Each person not exchanging the task, correct or not? How many flows are there in my conversation? Two conversations are there. One is talking, one more is listening. Two things. While doing, you are observing other things also. It is known as what? Third thread. So what is the purpose of each thread? Performing the operation whose logic defined inside the function. Hence, functions are executed by whom? Threads. From now onwards, each function executed by whom? Thread. Suppose there are 4 functions are there. If I want parallelism, how many threads I will create? 4 threads. Who will create 4 threads? Programmer I will create. Do you know how to create an object of student class? How? S1 is equal to student of. Do you know how to create a thread list object? L1 is equal to list of. How do you create a dict object? D1 is equal to dict of. How do you create thread object? T1 is equal to thread of. Ante. Thread of. How simple it is. Thread of. T1 is equal to what? Thread of. What is T1? Object. What is the thread? Class. Every class of Python belongs to dash. Huh? Every class belongs to dash. ఎందుకే మీరు మొద్దులు module. A module is a collection of global variables, function names, class names. ఏం రాదు మనకు. Don't know anything. Every class name is a part of what? Module name. What is my question? Every class name belongs to what? Module name. But you are saying every class name belongs to object. Myself feeling guilty feeling. Very much guilty feeling. I taught almost 12 to 13 days. Oops. With respect to class, I will create an object. And you are saying every class belongs to object. You are saying what bad luck I have. Every class belongs to object. మిమ్మల్ని ఏం చేయాలి ఇప్పుడు? What can I do with you? Huh? What can I do, students? Every class belongs to what? Module. Module is a collection of what? Global variables, function names, class names. Every class name belongs to what? Module. But every class name belongs to object. You are saying they will ask compulsory who is your faculty. Compulsory will tell my name. You will tell my name compulsory. But did I say this? Please, students, please save me because I have some name. 26 years onwards, I am there in this place. Please save me. Okay, now. Okay, let us move to the further. Now, thread is belongs to which module? Threading. The name of the module is called what? Threading. Threading is a module. How do you access it? Threading dot what? Thread. Threading dot thread. Threading dot thread. What is the thread? Is a class. Belongs to which module? PD dot data frame. PD dot series. What is the data frame? Is a class. Series is a class which is creating the object. Present into pandas module. Threading is a module present containing what? Thread class. We'll come to that. That is the next day, tomorrow's discussion. So here the point is, every thread will create what? Every thread will create what? Every list will create what? Object. Every dict create what? Object. Every thread will create what? Object. That object is meant for executing my functions. So here functions are executed by what? Threads. By default, how many threads are there? One thread. Programmatically, I can create what? More number of threads because it is there in the hands of mine. Because thread class is there. Any number of thread objects I can create. Are you able to catch me? Let me put one small thing. I have 4 functions are there with me. By default, how 4 functions will execute? One by one. Who will execute that one by one? Main thread. That is called a default environment. Which type of execution? Sequential execution. Takes what time? More time. Anybody is taking more time to execute, it is called heavyweight component. Which component? Heavyweight component. Are you following? C language, C++ does not contain multi-threading at all. They are heavyweight components. Python also by default what? Single thread only will be there. Main thread only will execute all my functions one by one. That is also called what? Heavyweight component. Today, I am changing the model. What is the programmatically in Python? Another situation. I have 4 functions. All 4 functions want to execute at the same time. How many threads I have to create? 4 threads I have to create by myself. The 4 threads which I am created by myself are called which threads? Subthreads, child threads. Of which thread? Main thread. When the main thread will initiate, program execution start, main thread will come. Main thread execution, it found a subthread creation. Subthreads created. That will be dispatched. Dispatching means sending. Go there, go there, go there. They will execute. They will hand over the result to which thread? Main thread. And a subthread will be destroyed by garbage collector. By calling its a destructor, program execution stops. All threads will be ended. Are you understanding? So here, main thread, subthread. What is the definition of thread? Flow of control. What is the purpose? What is the definition of thread? Flow of control. What is the purpose of thread? To perform the operation whose logic defined inside the function. Operations are done with what? Functions. Functions contains what? Logic. So from now onwards, all the functions are executed internally by what? Threads. Threads. Did you understand? I will show that example, all the examples. Who will take less time? Sequential execution or multi-threading or concurrent execution or? Yes, go to once now, my previous diagram. What is Windows OS? What is Windows OS? Is called my OS or not? It will provide services to all my applications or not? All these red lines which I drawn, red arrows towards the applications are called what? Come on, threads. They are called threads. Windows OS is providing services to all my softwares which I opened in my PC, my laptop. All of them provided parallelly or not? That means Windows OS is internally developed by what? Threading. So Windows OS is known as which type of operating system? Multitasking. In operating system level, it is called multitasking. In the languages level, that multitasking brought on the name of what, student? Multi-threading. Did you understand, my dear students? Multitasking of OS brought into Java, brought into Python, brought into C#.NET on the name of what? Multi-threading. Did you catch my point? Shall I move forward? So shall I show you an example? Any type of program is executing my operations one by one. We call it as a process-based application. Spell out. It will provide which execution? Sequential execution. How many threads are there by default? Only one thread. Only takes what time? More execution time. More execution time. And it is considered as what? Heavyweight component. Heavyweight means what? Very lately executing is called lightweight, heavyweight, heavyweight. A person with 200 kgs. I'm asking, please go to fifth floor. I'm asking a person who is just 70 kgs. I'm asking both of them go to fifth floor and come back once. This 70 kgs person going and coming back within 2 minutes. This heavyweight person is going 5 minutes up and 5 minutes down. 10 minutes is taking. Whose time is more weight? Heavyweight person. Taking more time execution is called heavyweight. And Python is an example of both process-based as well as thread-based. In thread-based application development, what is possible? Single threading is possible, multiple threads possible. It will provide a sequential execution as well as parallel execution will be provided. Takes what time to execute? Less time. Treated as what time? Lightweight time, lightweight component it is considered. Are you following me? Can I show you one simple documentation? Online students, did you understand what I explained? The simple concept here. Now I'm going to give you a small example, my dear student. So here I'm going to show you a simple explanation for you. A small concept I want to show you. Introduction to multi-threading. Types of application. Please read out, ma'am. Slowly read out. The purpose of multi-threading is that to provide concurrent execution, simultaneous execution, or parallel processing, executing all at once. Executing all at once. In industry, we have two types of applications or languages. They are process-based applications, thread-based applications. First one, process-based applications. Process-based applications contains a single thread. Process-based applications provides a sequential execution. Process-based applications takes more execution time. Process-based applications are treated as heavyweight components. Best examples are what? C, C++. Come to next, thread-based application. Easy. Thread-based applications contains by default a single thread. And programmatically, we can create multiple threads. I'll show you. Execute. Thread-based applications provides both a sequential and then concurrent execution. I'll show you programmatically. This will take what? Less execution time. Treated as what? Lightweight components. Java, Python, C#.NET, etc. Able to get up? Now, first I will talk about what? Default thread. Single thread model. Single thread will execute my functions one by one, all at once. One by one. What about multi-threading model? My subthreads will execute my functions parallelly and which are monitored by which thread? Main thread. So who is the background observer? Main thread. When subthreads will present. If subthreads are not there, who will execute everything? Main thread only. Simple. When you are in our native place, your brother, your sister or something, you will do your parents' work, correct or not? Suppose you are coming to Hyderabad, they are only alone. They will do their own work, correct or not? If there are 6 works are there, only they will do. When you are there, you will do that work, correct or not? So same manner like this also. I hope you are following, students. Now I will show you one simple diagram, students. So here one simple diagram I will show you. Process-based diagram I want to show you. Instead of writing diagram and everything now, I preserve some sort of diagrams for quick understanding students. Look at mom. This is C++ language environment I am showing. This is the function definition in which language? C++. Void, sub, C language. What you learned in your college level. I'm just recapitulating. Me college is it. Next, after that what? When C++ program execution starts, there also by default what is created? Single thread is created. What it is known as? First it will go to where? Function call. Function call means thread will go to where? Definition. Execute it. And coming back to the next function called what? Sub. Go to where again? Sub. Execute it. Again come to where? MUL. Go to MUL. Again go to where? DIV. And executing. And program execution ended. Are you able to follow? చదువుకోండి. Process based application contains which thread, provides which execution, takes what time, treated as what? Heavyweight component. This is called purely what based application? Process based application. Online students, go to next one. Thread based application I am going to show you students. Look at that. In the thread based application, two things I will show you. Thread based applications. Which environment I am taking? In that first environment, you see what is the first environment? Next, which environment? C. Program default environment first. What is that? Execution starts with PVM. PVM initiates what? Thread. What is the name? That main thread will execute the first function, second function, third function, fourth function, one by one will execute. Main thread will do what? Right. Done. Go to immediately what? What is happening here? Main thread, subthread, concurrent execution. Come on, PVM initiates what? The main thread instantiate what? Subthread 1, subthread 2, subthread 3, subthread 4. Right or not? All these subthreads will execute what? All my functions at the same time. Just a student, you are a student and your 4 friends are there with you to execute 4 different operations. 4 friends are nothing but 4 subthreads. I'll show you this execution today. Are you following? Tell me, what did you understand? What did you understand? The main thread will execute all the statements written in which program? And the monitors the execution of what? Subthreads. Subthreads will execute what? Functions or methods. Main program, function area. You know na? Definition area, main program. Main program written after definition. Main program written before definition. After function definition. So main program entry is executed by which thread? Main thread. Because PVM execution starts from where? Main program onwards. Na? Main program entry is executed by whom? Main thread. Subthreads, subprograms, that is called your functions executed by which threads? Subthreads. So parallel execution is going on. Main thread job, main thread is doing. Subthread job, subthread is doing. Did you understand? Can you imagine that picture, students? How many threads are there in my Python program programmatically? 2. Subthreads will execute what? Functions. Main thread will execute what? Main program entries. Main program entries executed by main thread. Functions are executed by what? Subthreads. All are there in same program only. That is called what? Parallelism. Earlier, what is doing? Main program entries, functions. All of them executed by what only? Main thread only. That will take what time? More time. But here, what is happening? Main thread is doing main thread job. Subthread is doing subthread job. Is it not dividing the work into different pieces or not? So which is the better? Subthread and main thread job is better when you are knowing multi-threading programming perfectly. Shall I show you the execution? Can I show you one more last and final documentation? But children, last and final. I will say you introduction to thread-based application. First, I want to clear the concept. Trigonometry problems I want to do. What is trigonometry? What are the problems? What are the ratios? Their proof, JEE mains exam, then IIT exam, like that you need to go. Adi concept. First I am clearing the concept. Start. Introduction to thread-based application. The purpose of multi-threading is that to provide a concurrent or simultaneous execution or parallel execution. Concurrent execution is nothing but executing the operations all at once. The advantage of concurrent execution is that to get less execution time. If the Python program contains multiple threads, then it is called multi-threading program. Definition of thread. A flow of control is called thread. The purpose of thread is that to perform certain operation whose logic developed in functions or methods concurrently. It is all important. What is the definition of thread? Flow of control. What is the purpose of creating thread? I will create a thread to execute certain operation whose logic written inside of what? Methods. Correct or not? So, every thread creation will make it to execute what? Function. 10 functions, so 10 threads. Correct? Who is monitoring all these threads? That's all. Come on. By default, every Python program contains single thread whose name is main thread and it provides sequential execution. Programmatically, in Python program, we can create multiple sub or child thread whose purpose is that to execute operations whose logic written in functions or methods concurrently. Next up, hence, programmatically, a Python program contains two types of threads. They are main thread, sub or child threads. A main thread is created or initiated by PVM when the program execution starts, and the role of main thread is to execute main program statements and monitor the execution of subthreads if subthread presents. If subthreads are not there, what will happen? Total program entries will be executed by what thread only? Yes. The subthread or child thread always executes operation whose logic written in functions or methods concurrently. So the total terminology is purpose of multi-threading, definition of thread, purpose of thread, subthread, main program entries, functions. That's all. Process-based application, sequential execution, concurrent execution. That is the less. Now I'm going to programming. Okay, now start off. To do programming, what do you need? Library now. What is the library means in Python? Module. What is the module name? Threading. Threading is a module. Module definition, global variables, function names, class names. In that, some global variables are there, some functions are there, some class names are there. If I learn all of them, I'll develop multi-threading application or not. Simple. Tomorrow I want to learn XYZ concept. What is my plan? Concept. Gurtupettukondi. Concept. Now, what is it? First, next module. In the module, what to know? Global variables, functions, class names. After that, applications, programs. That is called perfection. Suppose I want to learn some new algorithm in AI. First, I look into what is this algorithm purpose. I will learn. Next, I will see what is the module for this. I'll learn module. I'll see what are the functions. Then I'll start seeing the examples. Then I will create multiple examples on each one. That will become what? Perfection. But to do all these things, a lot of patience is required. First of all, our body should bend, but our body will not bend now because you are taking a stringent action. I should not read the book for more than 3 hours. You have taken a decision, correct or not? So once a student means you have to read the books like anything. Minimum 8 to 9 hours, you have to read the books daily. That is the way. And girls are saying to other girl, is it like that? If you don't read the notes, you are not a student. If you don't read 8 to 9 hours a day, you are not a student. If I tell, you will feel also. Can I tell? Oh, yes, sir. I don't tell because you will feel now. That's why. No, okay, students. Now I'll go to the program. Time is not there. Can I show you the program? Online students, can you please confirm these two things are clear? These two things clear? Is my diagram is clear? This diagram? this diagram plus this diagram, this diagram. Okay, good. Now, crystal clear. Mayank is creating a new spelling for a crystal. Crystal. Okay. Because these days also internet, when internet came into the picture, new words are coming. Because we are seeing in hotels on the top of that new spellings. Much crazy kind of thing. Okay, no problem. Shall I start off? Nice. So go to the place. Now I will start writing the code. I'll go to this place, new, edit plus I'm typing, others, and then Python. Program for program for showing program for showing which thread? Default thread. They'll ask you, is every I'm asking a question. If I'm taking a question on interview now, first question, I want to ask multi-threading question. What I will ask first question? Directly I'll go to deadlock question, not answering. I'll come to second level question. I'll ask directly, what are the states of a thread undone? I'll ask you, write a code for finding the states of a thread. No, I'll come to how do you prove that Python is a multi-threading program? By default, which thread is running in Python program? Please show me the code for getting the name of the thread. One line I will ask. If not answering these three now, take your luggage and go to home. So come to the point of it. We should not give a scope to the student to speak theory. Suppose if I ask, tell me multi-threading, you will tell 101 stories to me. I won't ask such questions. I'll ask you, write a single statement to print the name of the main thread. That's all. No theory involving there. Directly I am writing. Paper is given or laptop is showing, turning this side. Write a single statement to print the name of the main thread. Will you write? No. Now you are going to write. See, now I'm going to write it. There is a function name called what? Current underscore thread. Current underscore thread. What is that? దీన్ని చూడండి ఒకసారి. Don't know. Actually, I don't know. I also don't know, for example. By looking at that, what I understand? It is the function. My sir said every function belongs to what? Module. ఇప్పుడే కదా చెప్పింది మధుబాబులు. A module is a collection of global variables, function names, and class names. It is belongs to what? Module. The name of the module is called threading. Threading dot current thread. Threading dot current thread. Threading is a module. Dot current thread. Threading is a module means I must import. What is that module name? Import threading. Threading dot current thread. It gives name of the thread. It gives T name. Up to here, if you understand more than enough, I will write something there. Name, I wrote it. Name. I wrote something like df dot shape, df dot size, df dot d type. What is d type, size, shape? All those things are called attributes. Name also called what? Real, imag, name. These are all called what? Right. Attributes, don't worry. Now I will show you that you don't worry that I am writing default name of the thread. You don't worry anything. I will explain in the next class. Today I am default name of thread is equal to default name of thread is equal to comma what I am writing T name I am saying. Execute this now. I am writing there default thread FAULT default thread dot what py default thread. Students, today I am showing you default thread. You don't think too much about it. Don't worry. Current thread is what, name is what, least bother. Today you see outputs. Next day I will explain what is current thread. Everything I will explain. So here I will go for it. Go to your place, 6 p.m. here. Under that there is a threads are available. You save it. I am going to take it. Default thread dot py. Go to where, students? CMD you go. CMD you go. Run as an administrator. So go to E colon CD KVR Python 6 p.m. CD. What is this now? Threads. I hope so. Threads. There I will go for it. PY. Now I am writing it. What is the answer? Come on, read out, read out. Main thread. What is the main thread? Default thread name. By default present with every Python program. Even day one I wrote hello Python program also, that is executed by what? Default main thread only. Got it now? So anybody ask you tomorrow, how do you prove that Python is a threading programming? By default, this is a thread. ఇంకొకటి ఆన్సర్ చెప్తాను. Print of number of threads running. Number of threads running. Number of threads running by default is equal to, now I am saying threading dot, what is this now? Active count, active underscore count of, easy. Suppose if I don't know anything about this, what I'll understand? Active count. కొద్దిగా మనకు knowledge, some knowledge is required. Active count. That means what? Running actively. It is function name. Present in which module? Simple. Run this code. What is the name printed earlier? How many? One. What is the answer printed? One. See that answer now. How many threads are there by default? So read my documentation. By default, single thread is there whose name is what? Are you following me? Okay. Online students. Now, no tension at all. Go to next. Go to next. One more example. One more example. Here I am going to write a Python program for executing functions, program for executing functions by which thread? Single thread. Careful. DEF hello. Hello. Here I am writing print of hello function executed by. Don't worry, students. Just observe it, what I am doing it. Other than that, don't worry about anything. What I am writing today, least bother about more. Next, I am defining one more thread. I am defining one more thread here. There I am writing it. I am writing here hi. Hi function executed by whom? Executed by this. Next I am going to write it. I am writing here called what, something like greet. Greet I am writing. This is called greet function executed by, like this I am saying. I hope you are following me. Done. Execute. What is this now? Main program. Tell me now. Here I am writing hello. Next is called what? Hi. And next is called what? Greet. And I am writing before. Here you see, mom. Print of program execution started. Program execution started. By I am writing, comma. I am writing. Execution started by. I am writing like this. Program execution ended by what? Program execution ended by. Ended by. I am writing like this. Starting execution, and these functions are executed by like this. Total, how it is coming? First line coming to 10th line. What is the name printed? Main thread. Next going to where? 11. 11 to where it is going? Hello. This is printed what thread? Main thread. From there it is coming to where? 12th. From 12th it is going to where? Hi. It is printed main thread. It is coming to 13. 13 also going there, and ending also done. This entire functions are executed by whom? Main thread only. By default this is. Save it. What is this now? Default Python execution environment. Environment dot what? Py. Environment dot py. Execute. Go to this place. Done. See this now. Py. See this answer now. Okay. Import what? Come on. Threading. Okay. See, students, very clearly program execution started by. Hello function executed by hi thread, greet function, main thread executed by what? That means all functions and main program entries executed by whom? Main thread only. Are you following? So if no more threads are there, single thread will execute total or not? Well, be careful, students. Hold on. Now I'm going to say same thing. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. No tension at all. Take care by yourself. Now I'm writing. What is this now? Programmatic, programmatic Python execution environment dot py. Program execution by what? Multiple subthreads. Multiple subthreads. Multiple subthreads. And what? Which thread also? Okay. Sir, by default earlier case, what thread is created? Main thread. Today, I'm creating what? Subthreads I'm creating. Okay, students. See, this is called take care. Now I'm writing something like this. Take care 50. One best example also I will show you students today, because you have to understand the beauty of multi-threading. People will ask you why multi-threading is required. If you show this program now, they will just flat like that program they have to explain. What is multi-threading? You don't explain anything. You write the code and show. Don't speak anything. Output you show. Just a type in front of them. You don't speak anything. Show that program. This is called multi-threading. Last you say. Assume that you don't know English. How to speak. They will think you're very good in coding, but unable to speak. He is writing everything perfectly. So when you have full subject, you can manage the interviewer like anything. One technique also it said, no, if you don't prepare, go to interview. Immediately question is coming. All the books you give it. What to do? Something I have to manage. Come. Now, here I am writing. See, create. How many functions I am having? How many functions I am having? 3. Create, create. I forget. How many subthreads? 3 subthreads for executing. For executing 3 subthreads. For executing what? 3 subthreads. How do you create? T1 is equal to threading dot thread off, thread off, threading dot thread off. Don't worry. Don't worry. Like how you create our list object. L1 is equal to list of. L2 is equal to list of. Today I'm creating thread object. This T1 is called what? Subthread. That subthread is targeted to execute what? Hello. Here the parameter. Target is equal to function name to whom you want to execute. Hello. That's all. That's all. I am creating T1 by assigning the target to execute. Target is nothing but the name of the function. I am creating T1. Look at you are my subthread. You go and execute which function? Hello. I'm setting the target. Next, go to what? Next, one more subthread. What is the next subthread? T2 is equal to T2 is equal to of what? Hi. This is the function. Don't write hi of. No. It is the only name. Actually, hello is an object. Which object? Function name. Every function name is an object now. Of which class? Function class. Point number 2 in our class. మీకు చెప్పిన అంతేలే కానీ. So go to the place. E:6 p.m. Functions, notes, syntax for defining the functions. You just observe it. Point number 2. చెప్పినాడు పాయింట్ నెంబర్ కూడా గుర్తుంది నాకు. Function name represents a valid variable name treated as a function name, and every function name in Python is an object of class function. Point number also I am remembering. Point number also. File name also I will remember. Not only one batch, so many. All file names also I will remember. Why? Why? Practice, subject, commitment, responsibility. Those things with mirror also I did not see in you. Microscope also seeing I did not see you. But daily will come to the class. Sincere. But sincere means what? Good, good only. but paper should cut now. So sincerity is important, but sincerity sharpness is required. Go now. Come to the place. Create the subthread. What is this now? Hi. Next is called what? T3 is equal to. What is this? Threading dot. Threading dot what next? Oh, what is this now? Ante. Great. This is created. T1, T2, T3 fully targeted. Ready. They are just waiting for 1, 2, 3 start. When T1, T2, T3 target set, I should tell T1 go. Start. T2 start. T3 start. For that, I should say what? Dispatch. Dispatch the subthreads. Dispatching the subthreads is nothing but what? Start the threads. So T1 dot what? Start. T1 dot what? Start. Next is called what? T2 dot start. T2 dot start. Next is called what? T3 dot start. What is the start? When 4 o'clock 10, my class is started or not? KVR is equal to threading dot thread of target is equal to 6 p.m. 10 start. 6 p.m. is my function or not? Thread is created. I'm waiting here. When 6:10 start. Start is another what? Dispatch the thread. To execute my thread, I need to issue a signal called what? Start. Train is stopping in the station. One person will take the green flag and says like this or not. What it indicates? Start. Already destination target is given. Right or not? Don't tell that flag of train and etc. I'll explain start tomorrow. Once you say start, PVM related main thread will dispatch the T1 to the respective threads. They will go to their functions. Are you following? Just I am talking. Here I am talking. One simple thing I am writing. You don't worry, student. My dear students, you don't worry. Join. I am saying some line. You don't worry. Tomorrow I will explain. You don't worry today. You don't worry today. Just I am writing like this. You don't worry. Execute now. Programmatic environment I am going to talk. No tension. Happily you just look at. C, P, Y. C. Program execution started. What is T1 thread object? It is having internally one name. What is the name? Thread 1. Thread hyphen 1. T2 is having one name internally. What is that? Thread 2. What is T3? Thread 3. For example, if you, sir, I don't want. So T1 is called what? One thread. T1 dot name is equal to Lohit. Lohit I am writing. Lohit. Next, Lohit is my thread name. Next is called what? T2. T2 dot name is equal to Mayank. Mayank I am writing. Next I am writing T3. T3 dot what? Name is equal to Rakesh I am writing. Rakesh. What is this? Lohit, Mayank, Rakesh are called threads. My threads they are. Now I am executing. See what is happening. Execute. See what is happening. What is happening? Hello executed by Lohit. Greet is executed by Rakesh. Next is called what? Hi executed by Mayank. Who is the program execution started with? Execution ended with. And in middle of it, who is executing other threads? Subthread. What is that execution called? Parallelism. Correct or not? In this universe, after doing my work, are you doing or parallelly doing? All people are doing their own work parallelly or not? This world itself is what? Concurrency. Understand, students? So, general example why I will tell to connect to me quickly. So, in my program, how many threads are there? 3 threads are there. 3 threads are there. Are you able to follow? Right, students. Now, I'll show you the thread count also. I'll show you. One beautiful example I will show you now. With the execution time, I will show you today. Can I? Students, this indicates default threads. This indicates programmatic threads. Now I'm showing what? What I'm showing now? count. That is counting the time I'm going to show you. Quickly, I will go for it. Now I'm going to say execution time. Execution time of what is that? Default thread. That is nothing but what? Default thread model. Default thread. That is only with which thread? Main thread. How simple it is. Import threading. Import threading, students. Now I'm going to say DEF. So simple one explanation I will give you. Squares. LST I'm taking. Just for a minute. For loop. For loop. For value in LST. For value in LST. Print of what? Writing here. Square of. Square of. I'm writing here. I'm writing there. Thread name I am writing. And the square of I am writing is equal to I am writing. Like this I am writing. Dot format of threading dot current underscore thread. I'm printing the thread name, comma, value star star 2. This indicates that I'm printing what? Thread name I am printing plus a given number and square also I'm printing. Because of this, what is printed? Thread name. Because of this value, value will be printed. Because of that, value square will be printed. Are you able to follow, students? Are you working? Are you okay? Right. Some people are not saying okay, just a clock. What is going on? If you look at serious now, your letters also will jump. If you look at that, Python program will not fear because Python will give you life for you. So off 1 second, I will say sleeping off 1 second. Okay? After like a digital watch that is going on displaying the numbers. Digital watch seconds will changing or not? In childhood days, when you go to some circus, the watches will be there. You don't know that because you are all smart watch, all those things. Sadu ledu, anni unnai. So coming to the point back, I am saying next I am going to take what? Cubes. I am going to take it what? Cube of. Now I am taking value star star 3. So coming back to this place. Value in LST threading dot everything is printed. Are you following me? This is called what? Square as well as what? Cubes. Then main program I am going to talk. Main program I am going to talk. LST is equal to coming to this place is equal to main program I am talking. I'll give you some 12, 3, 4, and some 19, something like 3, and some 15, and some 16, and some minus 5. This is my given data. For this LST, I want to find what? Squares and cubes. Squares and cubes. See, students, now I'm going to take it. Program execution started here. Program execution started here. And then I will call it as what? Squares of LST. Squares of LST. Next, I'm going to start with what? Cubes of LST. Okay. Now I'm going to say program execution ended by. Now I'm going to write it. How much time is taken to execute my Python program totally? For that, I'll measure the time. How to measure the time? How people can say how much time I took the class? Starting time record, ending time record, ending time minus beginning time. Will give you the number of hours, minutes I took it or not. So record the time. Beginning time is equal to time dot time. Time dot time. Time is what? Module. Time of which will record the time in milliseconds. Milliseconds also will be recording. What is time? Module. Time of function name. Emundi? KVR sir will not write any code, just using library. Doctor will not prepare any tablet. If doctor is intelligent, he will give a tablet, problem finish. Dr. Shankar Dada MBBS, problem rages. Sir teaches more model, student will become lightweight student. Otherwise, our 23 years education. Simple. Come on. Ending time. Ending time. Here I am writing ending time. Ending time. Now coming to the point of it. I am writing. What is this now? Total execution time. Total execution time without threads. Without what? Threads. Without subthreads kada. Without what threads? Subthreads. That is only with main thread. Only with main thread. Comma. I will write it. Comma. What is this now? ET minus what? BT. ET minus BT. Ending time minus what? Beginning time. Execute. Import what? Time. So, what is this now? Execution time. Execution time. Without threads. Dot what? Py. Default thread adi. Without threads. See. Beautiful. Execute. Py. See. What is this? Name. Dot name. Dot name. ఎందుకు చెప్పలేదు ఇది? You want to enjoy when I get error? You said, okay. Now and then if you say that, many times you say wrong. Now and then if you say, I will think that it is a wrong. Now see the answers now, no problem. How it is coming? Main thread, only one thread is printing. Squares, so cubes, everything is printed. What is the time? 16.01 milliseconds it is taking. Are you following? That means only one thread is executing everything. But I want to use what? Two people separate. Square means you contact, cubes means you contact. Both of them parallelly running, whichever you want, they will give the results. Shall I move forward? Online students, go carefully, copy this example, pasting this example. See the beautiful output. Now I'm going to show. See this now. Execution time of what? Come on. Subthreads. Subthreads along with what? Along with which thread? Main thread. Execution time with the threads. With the threads dot py. Okay. No issue. Now I'm writing. Come on now. T1 is equal to what? Threading dot. Thread off. Thread off. Spelling thread off. What is this now? Target is equal to, and you don't worry students, this part, don't worry, comma, today I'm writing arcs is equal to LST comma, LST comma, I'm writing. Don't worry about that. Tomorrow class I will explain to you. Today you see only, this is called what now? Cubes. Beautiful. T2. T2. Beautiful. Execution ended. This part you remove. You just take out. Here I am writing, say here, execution time. Okay, here only I will say, last I will write it. This part also, okay, no problem. I will go for it. T1 dot start, T1 dot start, T2 dot start, and T1 dot join. Don't worry about the join and all. T1 dot join. Next is called what? T2 dot join. Don't worry. And try to run this and see the only execution time you worry, other things you least bother. And one more time, this is going to give you the results, combining together and giving the result. Parallel execution. See, are you checking the Gmail account from one system by most of the people? No. My system, Gmail verification by me. Your system, Gmail verification. All of them, my request is going to same place only, na? That means you are getting your answer, I am getting my own answer. But today, I am executing all the threads in the same program. So it is mixing answer coming and giving you the result. Execute it. See the result of it. What is the time taken for this? Right. Keep in mind, students. PY. Now I am going to say, see my execution. What is this? Threading. What happens? Where is that? Line number 17. Okay. Threading. Threading. Here. Threading. Okay. Now see the result. See the result. See that. Thread 1, thread 2, thread 1, thread 2, square root, cube, square root, cube, square root, cube, square root, cube. What is the time? 8.00. What is the earlier time? Which is faster? Thread-based applications are very faster. That's why in modern technologies and everywhere threads are already inbuilt. Already inbuilt. That means the technology is already worked by some specialist or not. They knows what coding. Multi-threading already knows. So if you know threading, you work on with threading based technologies you can work. I hope you are following me, students. So what is the faster applications? Thread-based applications are faster. I hope you are getting me. So tomorrow class when I come back, today you understood, I hope so, about index of threads, development of thread-based application, definition and purpose of thread, process-based application. Just today you understood about what is main thread, what is subthread, their execution time you understand. But threading dot, etc., least further, tomorrow I will go to this place. Okay now? Tomorrow more examples, in detail examples I will tell you. Okay now? So 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Morning 9 o'clock. Very soon Janaganamana song will play. So tomorrow I will explain histogram. Day after tomorrow pie plot I will explain. Okay. Don't miss the class tomorrow morning. Important. Thank you, students. All the best. Students in the online, am I clear about it? Any doubts are there? You can raise your hands, my dear students. Any doubts are there? You can raise your hands. I'll clarify your doubts. No doubts, huh? Clear, huh? Everything clear, huh? So I will upload the notes, students. Any more doubts are there? Sravanti, read total notes, ma. See, giving FAQs is something like an academic level of interview, important questions, ma. Read everything. That will save our life, ma. Always remember my points, ma. So, giving important questions generally not correct from the point of interview. Why? Because if you started taking like that, you will read only that part. If that is not coming, you will suffer a lot. If you read everything, that always blessing for you. That always tell to my students, do that process. This is my advice, ma. Please take in positive way. So I hope you understood that. Fine, ma. Read everything. Okay, students. Now I will upload the notes. Take care. Don't miss the next class. Thank you. All the best. So, yes, ma. That only. C sharp also learning about libraries only. Libraries only. But most of the people will not tell libraries. They will tell only theory and all those things. But here we all, as you said, most of the libraries modules we discussed it. So, okay now. So tomorrow class, don't miss it. Very important discussion. We'll go for it. Thank you, students. All the best.